so tired of the Lakers. Am I tired of the Lakers? Maybe not, but I had to get you in here somehow, so now that you're here, let's talk about the Lakers. A little clickbait, if you will, or click saying, but I want to talk about the Lakers. I want to get your attention because we got to talk about what is going to happen for them moving forward this season and their future, because they have struck out on all the free agents. The breaking news is they just signed Bronny to a multi-year contract, as well as LeBron just signed back to the Lakers. Now, what's interesting about LeBron's contract is not that he took the money he took, but what's interesting to me is that he has a no trade clause. I know a lot of people are focusing on him not taking 3 years instead of 2 and maybe the amount of money he took. None of it surprised me. The 2-year deal seems logical to me. He's done that plenty of times. And the money seems logical to me as well. Like, that just seems like something LeBron would do. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, how many times has he had a no trade clause in his deal? Like, I don't remember. And I think he was smart to put that in because he knows this team as it is not a championship contender. And so what the Lakers could have possibly done is midway through the season, when they see it's not working out, traded LeBron to get as many assets back as they could, because as you have heard in the news, they don't even want to trade these first round picks that they have because they are looking forward to the future. So LeBron was being super smart and said, nope, you're not going to do that unless I agree. So I just wanted to point that out first, because I don't think anybody or a lot of people even realize LeBron put that in his contract. And also, I mean, I don't know LeBron, but I have a feeling that's why he did it. Because teams, even though it's LeBron, he is age 39, 40, getting there. And so the Lakers at some point are going to have to rebuild. And LeBron wants to make sure it's on his terms if he's going to have to go somewhere else. With that aside, let's talk about the roster and how they have not gotten any free agents. Not only did they not get free agents, they lost Taurean Prince, who just went to the Bucks. And he was very good for them last year. In the past, the Lakers have been one of the biggest free agent destinations due to so many reasons. It being LA, star power, there's a whole allure being with the Lakers, a historical franchise, all the famous players. Like, there are so many things that go along with being a Laker. But right now, it's not as sexy as it used to be. And here's why. LeBron is still playing at an incredible level. We know this, there's no denying it. Anthony Davis had a very good season last year. But the first thing is, the West is super tough. And again, this roster is currently constructed is not winning a championship. They wanted Klay Thompson. He wanted to go to Dallas. There have been so many reports as to why he wanted to go to Dallas. Yes or no? What are the 100% legit reasons? We'll never know because everyone's reporting different things. Some people are saying that he went there because of the taxes. Some people are saying he went there because it's a better chance to win a championship, because obviously Luka is in his prime and Kyrie is younger and the team just went to the finals. And then some people are saying it's literally just because he didn't want to go to the Lakers. The Lakers are not super attractive right now because there's always too much, or recently there have been too many changes constantly going on. Roster changes, coaching changes. I understand that they haven't won a championship since 2020. So you don't just keep doing the same thing over and over if it's not working. You make changes. So nobody's disagreeing with that. But the amount of changes they have made and some of the decisions they have made are things that free agents are looking at and saying, I don't really want to be a part of that because I don't know if I can win a championship. And I don't really want to be a part of some of that drama. Because if you're a free agent, it's a little different than being a coach getting fired. You would get traded, so to speak, at the trade deadline. But if you are turning down more money to go elsewhere, say you're turning down more money, why would I want to put myself in a position where I don't feel like I'm going to either win a championship or I have a chance to be traded at the deadline if I'm not playing up to the level that they expect. Meanwhile, if I go somewhere else, I'm getting more money and I probably won't be traded. And that's not to say if you go somewhere else and you're playing super poorly that you won't necessarily be traded. You obviously need to, play well. But my point is, like, the likelihood of, being on the move in LA is much higher. Like, they move you out like that. And so some people don't really want to be a part of that. Some of that is pressure. Like, some people just don't want the pressure. To be a Los Angeles Laker, to play with LeBron James, to be a part of this franchise comes with pressure. And some people don't want to be a part of it, honestly. And the other thing is, like, for example, James Harden took a 2-year, $70 million deal from the Clippers. The most that the Lakers could have given him if LeBron had taken less was the mid-level exception, which was $12.8 million or something. If I'm James Harden, do I want to take $12.8 million as compared to $35 million if I don't think I have a bigger, significant chance of winning a title? Now, they lost Paul George, and that's a huge loss, and I'm not saying the Clippers are necessarily better than Lakers. I don't know. I haven't thought about which teams are better or worse yet. But if I don't feel like I have a significantly better chance, I'm going to take the money, because what's the point then? And the other thing I want to focus on is roster construction and fit. And that's part of why a free agent wouldn't want to go there. So let's backtrack for a second. The Lakers in 2020 had a clear roster construction that worked. It made sense. And they just completely changed the whole thing when it worked and won them a title. Like, that was the most confusing thing ever. You don't re-sign Dwight Howard when he was awesome for you. I feel like JaVale McGee was not re-signed that year. I don't remember if he was a free agent. Maybe he left the next year. That's so long ago now. But they completely changed the roster construction. They went from AD has been known to not want to play the 5. And so they had Dwight and JaVale McGee to play the 5 who were willing to, go play with centers and block shots and protect the rim while AD could play the 4. And then they completely went away from that and just changed the roster to not be that style of play. They also lost KCP. I'm trying to remember if KCP just left in free agency. I assume he did. I don't know if it was because the Lakers didn't offer him enough money. I honestly don't remember at this point. But they had a clear roster construction. KCP, 3-and-D guy, 2-way player, perfect fit. 2 bigs who can do all the little things. And then they changed the roster to not reflect that at all. And it didn't fit alongside what LeBron and AD wanted to do. And it's very strange to me that since that time, they have continually made a roster that still doesn't reflect what the 2020 roster was. Now, obviously, you make some changes, and Austin Reeves has been very good, and I wouldn't move Austin Reeves if he doesn't necessarily fit that roster that they had. But, like, you know what I'm saying. It's just completely different style. So if I'm a free agent, I don't know that my style of play is going to fit what they're going to do, because they seem to keep changing their style of play. And I don't know if I'm going to fit in. I don't know if I'm going to get all my shots. I don't know if I'm going to get my shots in rhythm. Like, there's a certain way I want to do certain things. And not that whoever is coming in is like, I need to be the number 1 option and all that stuff. But there is a certain level of, I am still a good NBA player. I need X, Y, and Z. And let me just say, LeBron, especially as he's gotten older, he's been more than happy to not be the number 1 scorer. Like, he ends up being one of the top scorer basically anyway, just because it's LeBron. He can get 20 anytime he wants. What I'm saying is, he's okay with, like, when he was playing with Kyrie, I think there were some times where Kyrie technically took more shots. Like, as he's gotten older, he's okay with that. Like, he's not selfish in the sense where he needs to take all the shots. But are they going to be in the same rhythm that the player needs? That remains to be the question. And again, that's not necessarily LeBron's fault, but I just feel like all these things factor in, and the health concerns of Anthony Davis and LeBron, and who's going to be, like, who is their starting 5 definitively? Do we know? Because they change it up a lot. Like, there's too many ifs, and that's part of something that a player doesn't want to come into. They want to have a certain roster.